Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Business Over Breakfast. My name is Ben Barber. Usually, I am joined by my co-host, Justin Gonteric from Gonteric. It doesn't matter right now because he's not here, so he doesn't get to tell me how to say his name or not say his name, because he is running his business right now at Oceanside Graphics, and they had somebody call out, so he will be here hopefully in a little bit, or maybe not. I mean, it doesn't really matter because today we have an exceptional guest. And when we started this show, so just to let you know what's going on here. This is Business Over Breakfast, and we talk to local business owners in Rhode Island every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. And this was all spurred on by Rhode Island RISmallbusiness.org. And that is a coalition of businesses. And it's a wonderful resource. It was the Gift It Forward campaign. And I'm going to get all into that in a minute because our guest today, or my guest today, because again, Justin isn't here, so ridicule him, please. My guest today is Lori Giuttari from Visual Thrive, and she is the person that created RI Thrives, which then has now turned into shoplocalrhodeisland.com. And they have created a database for everyone in the state who has a small business to go on there and advertise and put out their gift certificates and create links. And it's really created this wonderful centralized hub. And Justin and Lori and Chris Parisi from from Trailblaze Marketing, sorry, they have all come together and worked together on rismallbusiness.org. And then there's also the petition that I hope that you guys sign. Go to rismallbusiness.org/petition. The Lieutenant Governor's office and this coalition of 1,400 small businesses are really trying to get some much needed aid from money that's left over that is not supposed to be used for anything else to be given to go to these small businesses to help out everyone's community. So enough hearing from me. Let's bring on our guest, who is just an amazing person, and one of the joys of COVID has been getting to know these people, especially Lori. Hey, Lori, how are you?
I'm laughing out loud here. Wow, what an introduction. Good morning.
You deserve it. So how are you today?
I'm good. I thought it was Friday, but it's not. So there you go.
You did think it was Friday. You did send a text in the group chat that said it's Friday, and we were like,
did.
Yeah.
And I even on the Shop Local Rhode Island Facebook page, I wrote TGIF, and here's your little checklist for the weekend, and make sure you look up businesses for delivery. And then I went to get my coffee for the show, and I burst out laughing, saying, okay, it's actually not Friday.
Have you seen the do you watch The Office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a cold open, I think, where Dwight says that he thinks that it's Friday, and so Jim and Pam get the entire office to spend the rest of the day convincing him that it is Friday, even though it's Thursday, so he doesn't show up the next day. I wish that we all did that to you today.
I think that's a great idea.
We should all do that to you. Guys, it's Friday. Welcome to the Friday show.
Friday.
Justin says, love you guys. Lori, thank you. And Ben, thanks for holding down the fort. Justin, go do your thing, man.
Yeah.
Go do your thing. I still want that Rhode Island hat, dude. The Hope hat from the Newport Craft Beer Fest.
Hey, I want the Hope t-shirt too while we're giving orders.
Yeah. Justin, we have orders. Fulfill them since you're working right now.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the all right. Hey. Stop watching us, man. We can hear you. Stop watching us. Hey, Justin.
I got you. I'll hook you up.
All right. Thanks, man. So, all right. So, Lori, Justin, just bear with us for a minute. Although I know you were watching along. We are. Lori, tell us a little bit. Oh, he's gone. Who cares? So, Lori, tell us a little bit about Visual Thrive, and then we'll get into the natural progression of Shop Local Rhode Island.
Yeah, so Visual Thrive was created with between LG Coaching, my coaching practice, and Indemar Media, Scott Indemar's media company, and we wanted to create something for small businesses. So we were doing, I do executive coaching and life coaching, and he does pretty, I would say, mid-level to very high, not high, large corporate advertising campaigns and video. And so we created Visual Thrive as an offer for small to medium businesses to have this ongoing digital footprint through social media. And we realized that businesses try to do it, and it's really hard. And most business owners will say, I really don't want my employees doing this, because then I look over and they're on their phone and they are doing the social media. And you know what happens when you go on Facebook or Instagram. And so the owners of the businesses were really finding this a great approach for maintaining an every other day digital footprint with original photography, which Indemar Media was providing, Scott, my business partner, and my partner, my boyfriend, and the content creation and marketing insight from my side of it. And so my background is corporate marketing and communications, and I quit my corporate role in 2015 to start my business. So now I'm a small business owner, and dealing with all the joys of that right now. But so Visual Thrive now does websites, and we do mainly, I guess I would say, our flagship offer to small businesses is this ongoing digital footprint through social media, that we write the original content based on that business's strategic vision. So we want to understand where the business wants to be in a year or 2 years down the road, so that everything we're writing about the business and photographing with the business is based on moving them into where they want to be. And then we check in with the business every cycle and say, what do you got for the next 2 months? And so some businesses will say, oh, this is our spring sale. So we make sure that we get all the social media in, and they really don't have to do anything.
That's wonderful. That's sort of the world, and I love that you came from the corporate side of it, and now you're doing it for small businesses, which is amazing, because it's an expertise that a lot of small businesses, I mean, if you wanted to start a coffee shop, right, that doesn't mean that you're a marketing expert.
Mm-mm.
If you if you
No, you're right.
you know what I mean? And it can be really confusing. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I know that you had told me about LG coaching beforehand, and that you had done executive coaching. I didn't realize that you had done life coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Or that you are a life coach. I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually got my coaching certification in 2005 under Martha Beck, who is pretty world-renowned coach. She was actually Oprah's life coach for decades, and she writes for O Magazine. Martha Beck has a number of New York Times best-selling books. So if people are thinking about like making some serious change in their lives, any of her books are great. And then I got my master coach certification, working with her pretty closely for a year. And that was in 2016. So as soon as I left my corporate role, which involved a lot of executive coaching
mhm.
in terms of managing external and internal communications, I got my master coach certification kind of as a refresh for myself around the coaching, so that I could then say, yeah, I can do my own business.
Can we talk about the executive coaching for a minute? Because
Of
I'm
course.
fascinated by this.
Yeah.
I work with life coaches as a producer,
Mm-hmm.
for podcasts and courses, and whatever it is that they need and they want to do, and their social media and stuff like that. And we've had people, we had like a huge thing. He was the main one that I'm talking about right now, was not an executive coach per se, but because he has an international audience, it attracted people who wanted him for life coaching, and then sort of it morphed into executive coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a company in Australia that wanted to and did hire him to work with all of their staff in an executive coaching role, and then wanted to like fly him to Australia to get him to like basically live there and then coach to all of the companies, because they were a marketing company too, coach to all of the executives that they worked with in their in their
Wow.
businesses. And I didn't have a lot of hands-on experience in the actual uh how is the executive coaching, how does it differ, and what are the challenges compared to working with a client who might be, a small business owner or an employee somewhere. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah. Yeah.
um, a
Well,
non-executive. I don't know what the best way to say that is, but a regular
yeah.
life coaching versus
So
executive.
yeah, the topics are different. That's one thing for sure. There's your little guy in the background. Hi. Um, so the topics are definitely different because executives have to speak to either their employees or their customers or the media. And do you want me to keep going?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
That's
Come
all
here.
right.
Come here. I have to just wrap him up in a blanket, apparently. Do you want to say hi? Okay,
Hi, this is the
go.
intersection. This is the intersection of executive coaching and life coaching.
Yeah.
So
So executives have to talk to
it's
the
the
media
perfect
and
metaphor. Yeah.
yeah.
So every executive is actually a person with a home and a family and personal relationships. So sometimes it's hard, for example, when an executive comes to me and says, I only want to talk about the business issues because they're just one person. So it's a little hard to separate. If someone's under a lot of stress at home, it's gonna filter in. On the executive side, really the goal is to make sure that executives are holding clear boundaries. This is you teach people how to treat you. So what do they need in the workplace, and what do they want to accomplish in the workplace? How do they build coalition? Okay, let's do that together. A lot of communications. Believe it or not, executives that speak externally have all the same issues that any other person has when they go to speak. So really finding the voice for that executive is important, so that they feel like, okay, I'm just speaking as myself and I already know the information. I don't have to be like attached to something. So it's really creating like, what is your voice? And I would say that's really important in life in general. So if you have to have hard conversations with the people you love, you have to hold your boundaries and you have to speak honestly and openly. And, we have all this fear and defenses that we've all learned. We just have to be able to recognize that in both arenas.
Yeah, and that's so important, and it's something that people don't think about, I think, enough,
Mhm.
is finding their voice, and that the goal of that is authenticity, you know? And
Um,
that's important for executives, it's important for people dealing with just other people in their everyday lives. And because this is business over breakfast, and we're gonna transfer back to the business talk, it's incredibly important for
yeah.
businesses in their marketing.
This
you
is
know
really important. I always say to businesses, if you don't recognize that your employees and the people around you in your business are the most valuable thing that you have, and if they don't know what's going on in the business and you can't communicate that, then it's a definite, I would say, negative for the business. If
yeah
everyone in the business knows, like, oh yeah, I know that in a year we want to, I don't know, acquire another company, then everything they do is based on that. And this is how we run the social media campaigns as well. Like, what is the next thing that you want?
Yep. And that's and what's really important about that too is being straightforward, but also being honest with things. Like, so I was my uncle had come up in February of this year, and I was talking to him about marketing because he owned several car dealerships in the South for a really long time, and now is retired. He will never let himself retire, but
Right.
he's retired, and he he travels from North Carolina to Florida and stuff, working as a consultant for these car dealerships. And so I was talking to him about sort of marketing strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to um, tell your, and I've seen this on the Visual Thrive page, the behind the scenes stuff is
Right.
so important for a
Yeah.
business. Like, it's not good to just sell, sell, sell. You don't build a community that way. You don't build a brand that way. Like,
Yeah.
if you're only putting out your specials, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
And the more that you can show the humanity of it, the
Yeah.
better, and the more that you can, let people in and educate sometimes. And what I was saying to him was, I think that it would be great for car dealerships
Mm-hmm.
to to use like localized groups on Facebook, and to create content that is, because all car dealerships that I ever see, local car dealerships, are always, this is the deal of the month. You're going to save
Yeah.
$4,000 down if you come in by July
Right. Right.
31st. And I was like, if a car dealer had a weekly series where they released a tip of the week
Yeah.
video, where they were like, look, these are the things, everybody thinks that they know how to negotiate, everybody thinks that they know what they're looking for when they
Oh
buy
my
a car.
God. Yeah.
Come in, and we're going to show you, this is a 2018 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
This is what you need to look for. This is why our price is this.
Oh my
This is
God.
how we
I would
make this
love that.
price. And he was like, you have to make sure that they're not disingenuous,
Right.
because people would, and I'm like, if they are, it doesn't matter to me, because if you're disingenuous, it's not going to work. People are going
Right.
to turn on you. The marketing's
Right.
never going to work.
Right.
But if you're honest and authentic, and you find your voice as a business,
Right.
um, then that would be
You just gotta,
probably the most powerful tool that a car dealership could ever have.
yeah.
It
And
removes the sleazy feeling of a car dealership.
exactly. It's funny that you say that, because I was looking for a new car a couple weeks ago, and that's exactly what I thought. I said, I gave him a price. I'm like, this is what I'll pay. But I mean, I didn't know why, and and so they were like, no, 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 we can't sell it for that. And then I was like, all right, I'm stuck then. I didn't know what could go. But I think this idea about creating, anytime I'm coaching a business, I do business planning, strategic planning. So you think about planning for a business around their marketing, talking to an executive, or talking to a person on a life coaching issue. It's always about what it starts from the inside. It's an inside out job. So if you have to figure out what you want first for your business, and then build the network around that. And then that's why this petition is so important, because it's the network and the coalition. And so it's not being disingenuous. It's saying this Rhode Island money is there. We have it. It's from the federal government. Every single state, I think, has received federal money, and they're using it in different ways. And so here's this opportunity for small businesses to create a coalition, to create one voice on a particular topic, and that is how it comes together. That's why it got 1,000 signatures in 24 hours, because people know that this is, there's nothing hiding here, and that's the big issue. So there's the authenticity based on months and months of talking to businesses, working with businesses, and really understanding, like, this is something that we need. Um,
Yeah. Abs-
So I think that
absolutely.
this idea of authenticity, sometimes companies use it like as a marketing thing, like, oh, we're all authentic, and to me that's bullshit. But oh,
Yeah. No, no, I don't, it's the internet. It's
okay,
the internet. Say whatever you want.
okay,
Um,
okay, watch
yeah,
out.
I don't care. So I completely agree. And people see through it. People don't want to be sold to, and they don't want to be lied to,
Right.
and they can tell. And you have to have respect for people.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that is huge.
One of
So
the things that Justin, sorry,
no, go ahead.
Justin and I had talked about was this idea of, there are over 1,000 businesses in the Shop Local site. So for the people that are using the Shop Local Rhode Island site, we're starting like a lunch and learn segment. And what I did a couple weeks ago was I said, okay, I know how to do social media. Our company does this. And we set up a Zoom meeting and we said, do you want to learn about how to do social media? And we went through, I'm trying to see, so we had a PowerPoint, of course, why social media, how to create great social media, how to optimize, how to use hashtags. So we went through all of this. And the premise of doing this kind of work, like Justin's going to come on one day and do like, okay, here's your business. What signage do you need? How does this business stay safe? Do you need plexiglass? Do you need signs on the floor? So, and it doesn't matter if the business calls Oceanside Graphics or calls Visual Thrive. It just matters that the business is receiving the things they need.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if they want to call Visual Thrive and they want to call Oceanside Graphics, then of course we love that because we're all in business and we want to support each other. So I think that that's how we operate, how our business operates.
Hmm.
And I do think that this is the whole rising tide. I really
Yes.
believe that it sometimes makes. I was going to say it makes your work harder, but I don't think it does because you just get to have fun if you want.
Absolutely. And what's the cliche that everybody hates? It's the friends we made along the way.
Hmm.
Like the real journey was the friends or
Right.
whatever, the
Yeah.
real treasure.
This is
But it is because there's so many things that there are so many seeds that get planted by good deeds and by just being genuine and being there and being reliable and whatever it is.
right.
And they really you can't see the things that you're going to reap from them years later. You just do it. You just do it at the time. And there was so the reason that I'm talking to you right now is our guest yesterday, Caswell Cook, who's a friend of the lieutenant governor. He hired a company that I was working for to produce a wrestling show, an independent wrestling show, 5 or 6 years ago.
Like real wrestling or
Yeah, like real professional wrestling at
oh, like
at
not like worldwide wrestling. So
I
like
mean, not WWE, like an independent version of
like a
that, like
real
an indie
okay.
band version of that. Yeah, but he hired us to put a show on at Musqueamicut Beach for a festival,
Mm-hmm.
and it rained. And or no, it was going to rain. It was supposed to rain, and there was no tent or anything. And we had $30,000 worth of equipment to bring. And the other person in charge called all the wrestlers the night before and canceled it. And I was like, I was working at a play that I was producing that night, and I didn't have any time to, and I was so mad. And the next day, I was like, I did everything that I could to get like gym mats and to get as many wrestlers as I could to just come down and run around the fair in costume and like pick fights with each other and just like be clowns and have fun. And they loved it
Oh my
because
God.
they're all from New England and wanted to come to the beach and hang out and go to a festival for free.
Right.
And I paid everybody, and I didn't take any money from the Musqueamicut Beach. And because I didn't let that down, you know what I mean? Because I was just genuine
Mm-hmm.
and did a good deed, it continued be good deeds. And then Musqueamick Beach hired me to do their podcast and their videos. And then when COVID happened, Caswell was like, I need to get the lieutenant governor on. Can you do this? And so on and so forth. So like these little things that you do that just to have integrity and to
Well,
do the right thing.
like you want to.
Exactly.
And it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So doing the right thing is always the right thing.
Well, and
And
the other cliche, or you reap what you sow,
yeah.
And that's about planting seeds and building the network. There's really not much more that's really important, especially at this time.
Building a network is a wonderful transition to our last point, which is a big one. So talk as long as you want on it. ShopLocalRhodeIsland.com, which is not a subsidiary, but a
yeah,
like a sequel to a big thing of rismallbusiness.org.
Right.
And I have no idea what he's doing.
So
he is a superhero. So tell us about ShopLocalRhodeIsland.com and the wonderful things you're doing on there.
So we have marketing clients, and as this March 13th came around and people started shutting down and figuring like, oh, should we close our doors? Should we keep our doors open? Our team was creating a lot of communications for those clients and their customers. And I was starting to think about how do the clients let other people know what's happening, and how do I, as an individual, know what happens when I leave my house? Can I go to the shop? Can I walk in the shop? Will they deliver? I don't really want to leave. So there were these things, and this was like the tipping point where all of a sudden the whole world just shifted. And I said to Scott, I have this idea. I was actually sewing masks for a team of nurses that I knew. And I started to think about what this could look like. And this was the creation of RI Thrives. I said, what if we said to businesses, listen, put your information up. The other piece was that Governor Raimondo was saying, we know that a lot of small businesses don't have websites. And if you need a website, so I was thinking, okay, they need a digital footprint. They need to give people links. They need to let people know what they're doing so that people feel safe. And in one weekend, we created Shop Local Rhode Island. And I'll just stick to that because I don't want to like ruin the brand right now. So
yeah, don't muddy the waters. Shop Local Rhode Island. It's been that since March.
Yeah, and so if you go on to Shop Local Rhode Island, you can click on your own little business card. You create your business card, and it's completely free. You can click on it. You can look at menus. You can look at photos. You can look at anything really that the business wants to put up there. Like, okay, you have to come in the side door, and whatever it is. There are arrows on the floor, or you have to wear a mask. So all of that is available. I think the Shop Local site is completely underutilized at this point, but there's also a map on there. So you could just zoom into your own neighborhood and say, what's open in my neighborhood? I don't really want to go more than 5 miles away. And you can zoom in and see a whole bunch of different restaurants. It's not just restaurants, it's all sorts of businesses. And then the gift card piece was brought in from the Gift It Forward program. So between Chris and Justin and I, we kind of melded all these pieces together. So we have the ability for businesses to create gift cards. Thank you. Create gift cards. And if you see at the top, there's 2 buttons. So the business can either go in and say, we have outdoor seating now, and they can update, or you can just add your business, and it's completely free. But this idea of just looking, you just sign it up, and then Scott will take over on the tech end and make sure that all your links are working and everything's set up properly. I would say go to something that isn't a restaurant, but so see the map. You can kind of just click on any of those. So there's so many, and today or tomorrow, Friday, on Friday, we're getting all these sites and attractions up into the site. So you can see each business has their own business card. They put their logo up. And if you're looking for a business, you know that they are either doing curbside pickup, they're doing delivery. We had owners of businesses delivering at the end of the business day. We had a Restigian Rugs did a rug delivery, and they call their clients beforehand and say, do you need anything? They ended up one day stopping at the meat market to pick up steaks for the grill and then deliver the rug and the steaks. So it's really just this idea of creating network and giving businesses this platform to put whatever they want on there. Like there are a lot of options. So the Shop Local Rhode Island site also has a private Facebook group, and you can get into that. And we developed that specifically for peer exchange. So I've been, and this is the idea of like, oh, you're doing social media. How do you want to do it? No, try this, do that. Like we need to share our information. We need to help businesses get better and get better to the extent that they want. I mean, really, we have this information. We have so many people with great expertise. Like, why are we not just saying this is the way we can help you?
And now you are.
Yeah.
And now you are saying this is how we can help you. And it's a really wonderful thing that you've done. And all of the time that's been donated by you and Justin and Chris has just been phenomenal and so helpful to like we said, like 1,400 businesses or whatever it is right now, approaching that or over it, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And it's just remarkable. Like it's remarkable, the ingenuity, the fast moving way that you have sort of transitioned and taken a bad situation and turned it into a good situation. And like I said with you on the phone yesterday, you guys created something that should have been here for a really long time to begin with. So rismallbusiness.org and shoplocalrhodeisland.com should have been here for a really long time, and now they are.
We knew that Rhode Island was a tough place to do business in. Someone or some group, like, I'll just keep my mouth shut, but we do have departments for that, should step up and really help business and not just check the boxes so that they continue their funding.
By the way, so Rhode Island is 98 or 99% small businesses. Last night on the Lieutenant Governor's Community Conversation show, we had the Lieutenant Governor from Louisiana on, and someone asked in the comments, what percentage of small businesses is Louisiana, and it was something like 53, 54%. So that just goes to show you how the 39 cities and towns in Rhode Island could not function, could not exist, would not be here if it wasn't for all of these small businesses. And it's more than just the business, and it's more than just the business owner. It's the people, it's the kids that work there in the summertime, and the people who have their first jobs, and the moms who are the single moms who are working to feed their kids, and the kids themselves who get to go to daycare, like Justin said yesterday, because their parents own a small business or work at a small business, and then that daycare itself is a small business, and then it's an ecosystem. It's more than an economy. It's an ecosystem, and it all feeds each other. And so we have to do our best for it.
And either you or Justin said yesterday, this people don't go to Patuxent Village or Westerly downtown to be at the Walmart. They go there because there are 50 or 20 small businesses giving them service and the flavor of what Rhode Island is about. I mean, that is the beauty of Rhode Island. All these villages, all these little spots along the water. I mean, That's I think really the beauty of the state.
Yeah, there is no town in Rhode Island where the best sandwich place is Subway.
Right.
There is no town in Rhode Island where the best place to get a burger is McDonald's.
Yeah.
That is not who we are as a state, and it makes up the communities. So we need to support it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I say sign the petition, get the support. The petition doesn't end this process.
Yep.
The petition only begins this process of creating voice for small business, and it's really, really important if we want to start like really having fun around this. I mean, let the small business lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's support from a lot of people. There's support from a ton of people. I mean, there were over 1,000 signatures in 24 hours for this petition, and it's going to grow, but it needs your help. So if you're watching this right now, or you're watching it later today, or 3 days from now, or over the weekend, which apparently starts today, according to Lori.
I know. I like that hashtag. Treat me like it's Friday.
Please post. If you don't post that today, I'm going to.
I'm going to.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lori. I know that I told you I was going to give you a half hour back, and I didn't. So enjoy your extra 22 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and check out Lori and go follow Visual Thrive. And if your business has marketing needs, please go check out Lori. And if your business just needs help, go to shoplocalrhodeisland.com and rismallbusiness.org, and please sign the petition. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So sorry I took you off early.
No, just that I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so that was it. Lori is amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Justin had some internet issues. Braden's dancing over in the corner, so I gotta go. This has been he's doing the Carlton right now. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing the Carlton. Oh, you do know that? You do. Okay. Well, you know what? We taught him well here. So thank you guys for watching. Please go sign the petition, rismallbusiness.org/petition. It brings you to change.org. Sign the petition, share the petition. It might ask you for a donation to change.org. You don't have to worry about that. Just hit share and then share it out so that more people can see it, and then we can help more small businesses in Rhode Island, which is 99% of our state's businesses. It is the lifeblood of the ecosystem of Rhode Island. It feeds it feeds all of Rhode Island, technically, because all of these people must work at these 99% small businesses. And he's just dancing. So thank you guys very much. We'll be back tomorrow.